All right, all right. I have a guest we've never had. No one usually comes in with a hat on, but not only just a hat, it's more of a fedora. And we have the Fedora Closer with us today. We have Chris Lynch from Chicago Title and Coastal Connections. Chris, nice to have you.
Pleasure to
Thanks
be
for
here.
coming in.
Pleasure to be here, Tom. When you brought this up, I was like, oh my gosh, I got to be on this podcast. It's going nuts right now.
So the podcast has been a fun journey, and you know, thank you for following it. Thank you for watching other episodes. I hope that you're enjoying it and that we're giving you some good content to listen to and educate as you continue to grow your business.
Definitely.
So we met about 6 to 9 months ago through networking through K-Chev. Shout out to K-Chev's networking events. Next month, later this month is going to be his 20th networking event, which is really awesome for him. He's really
Crazy.
What a success story.
What a go-getter.
I think I started going to the networking events. I met him, and number 4, I remember going to Joe Bella's, and it was a totally different experience than what you see today at the networking events. They just keep growing and getting better each time. So shout out to K-Chev. You're doing a great job. Keep up the great work. But we met there. You were going to sponsor one of the events for your title business,
Yep,
and since then, I feel like I see you a lot now.
I feel like I'm everywhere.
I feel like every other Thursday
Cannot
you're
run
in
away.
Wingman at your
I feel like I should work here.
at your Coastal Connection meeting. So do you want to dip into title first, or you want to dip into the connections?
I could dip into let me dip into title first, and then
All right.
kind of
So
connections.
how long have you been doing the title gig?
I've been in the title world for about 8 years. I started off as just a closer at the table. That means I'm the guy that watching you sign all your stuff. Real raw. I had no idea what title was. Most people don't, anyways.
Title's like that unique thing. Everyone has to pay for it when they buy a house. They don't really know what it's for, but it also keeps you clear so that if you have a problem after you buy your house.
Exactly. We don't know what that seller did on the way out the house, right? So, it could be I've seen 80-year-old grandmas leave the house with a loan from one of the casinos, and it becomes a lien on the house. Now you're buying the house, you wouldn't even know till Vito shows up at your door, knocks on the door of it.
Yep.
Hey, by the way, you don't own this anymore. We do.
And now, what happens? So you guys go and do the investigative work,
Yeah.
all the homework of any mechanics liens, any
liens.
liens from a mortgage or from a third party, or
Taxes too.
taxes too.
Taxes, because you may also maybe that old lady who's now leaving, beautiful, wonderful woman, maybe never paid her taxes.
Yeah.
And then now you find out that you don't own it because it went to a tax sale or something like that. So we make sure we do a very thorough search, and then we also are going to make sure that there are no problems going forward from when you bought the property. So.
Awesome. That's very cool. So, again, I always, know that there's somebody to pay in the title when you're doing that HUD statement.
Yep.
But that's a good explanation of what a title person does. And now you're connected with all the, the realtors, the mortgage guys. So that's kind of how you started to become a connector, huh?
Yeah, I realized actually and one of the things I feel that a title agency, like a title, really with title altogether, is that you become the connector, the support of
Title person.
Yeah, because I can't throw you 1,000 leads right away. I may not be able to refer you every buyer you ever find, but what I can do is I can help you find other buyers, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can connect you to loan officers and real estate attorneys, the best in the business.
Yep.
And that started me on the whole connecting people process. And I was like, that's what I find is one of my passions, is connecting people.
And connecting good people.
Connecting great people, yeah. People that can do business with each other, people that like each other, people that want to grow each other.
And trust each other.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, I think that's the hardest part of the referral game is you have to be able to put, you put your name on that. You got to make sure that that person's going to stand up and do what you expect them to do and why
Exactly.
I think that there's a lot to that. And, good referrals, I think, especially during weird markets, become harder because
They do because you're doing a shakedown too.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say the shakedown is, people that started in the market in 2020 saw only a upside.
Yeah.
All they saw was upside. It would be like getting in the stock market right after it's
right during the run.
During a run, right? But then all good runs, all good waves do dissipate, right? And like to say, all storms run on a rain, right? That's when you start seeing them get hungry and stuff like that. But when I do a referral, when I refer somebody to someone else, I've already asked a million questions, and I'm already trying to of not only the referrer, or the one person that's being referred, the referee, right?
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that that's a good connection with each other. So when I refer someone to somebody, it's not just because it's out of the blue. It's because I honestly think that
Those two people.
Yeah, that realtor would do amazing business with that loan officer, and the two of them will do great with that attorney, and they'll just create this team's just cranking stuff out. So
It's almost like a wingman.
it's kind of like a wingman, yeah.
Look at that.
So you keep doing this, I'm going to get a W-2 at the end of the day, right?
Add another one to the payroll. So then you kind of formalize this referral process by creating Coastal Connections.
Yes,
huh?
yes. Coastal Corrections comes out of. I give a shout out to United Tips because they were the ones that kind of helped me into this thing. But Coastal Connections, what it is, it became like a laser focus to what I wanted to really do. Like that, it really showed me that I love connecting people. That's what I love doing. I love watching people succeed. Right. If it never made me a dime,
you still like it.
I still loved doing it. I would do it all day long.
But that's a real passion. Like, let's just stop it. That's a passion. Like, if you can really feel good about doing something that maybe doesn't give you any income or give you any financial benefit, like that means you're passionate about it, and that's really cool because a lot of people are always, I feel like, are looking for what's in it, the with them, right?
Yeah,
what's in it for me?
What's in it for me? Yeah.
What's in it for me versus, you're just saying, look, I think you two people can do well and do connect together and do some good business and take care of the customer. I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's about that customer experience.
Exactly,
right?
exactly. Because it's really about that 5-star review that customer is going to give you guys.
Yeah.
Whether it be, and now being able to do this, it makes me just kind of scale that up, right? Because now instead of just the realtor getting a 5-star review, now it's like, Tom Jarrett, our power washer, he's getting 5-star reviews.
Shout out to Tom Jarrett.
Yeah,
Tom Jarrett recently just did power washing at my house, and I know he gave a presentation at the Coastal Connections in Belmar yesterday. That took place in Wingman's Belmar location. I appreciate that you guys have asked me to use this. It's it's awesome to be able to give back. And at some point you're gonna looking at the pictures, at some point you're going to outgrow this, which
probably soon.
I also told Abdel from day one, you guys can use it until it's too small, and then I'm sorry.
Yeah, Abdel literally looked at me yesterday and said, after this meeting when we had 15 people in here, he's like, I think we have outgrown this, and so but we're trying. We're trying.
Listen, I give you what I can, and then you're on your own.
It's amazing that you have so.
And I think I know Nicole was out sick yesterday, but. I know that she likes the group, and she's been great. She really enjoys being part of the group, so that's awesome. Shout out to Nicole. Hope you're feeling better, kid. So Coastal Connections has how many chapters or communities?
It's got 12 communities right now. I like to call it
Why do you call it a community over a chapter? Just kind of give the audience a little perspective on that.
Difference is, my point of view is, a chapter just means, okay, great, you're going to meet every Thursday, you're going to share leads or whatever, and that's fine, But community really means that when you join Belmar and you join a bunch of like-minded individuals that are looking to grow your business with you, you also join the greater community. Now I have 12 chapters, developing a couple more, so by
12 chapters. Congrats.
Thank you.
That did not take long for you to do.
No. It's I said I had a pretty good help to start, and then working with Abdel has been great. That guy is like, there is no off switch to Abdel.
No, Abdel's always on. I love it. But he's a great guy.
He's the rock to my dreamer, right?
Yep.
I dream, and I call him like, hey, Abdel, we're doing Philly next week. Abdel, we're doing AC. We're doing another. So where it differs, like to your original question, where it differs from chapter to community is that you get involved with the greater community also. So I want to connect people in Belmar to people in Long Branch, people in Long Branch to people in Philly to people in AC. Reason why being is like, somebody in AC might be really good at something, right? And I want to share that with the group. I don't want to just leave them just AC, because why would I leave someone who's great at cold calling in AC when somebody in Long Branch really would love to talk to them?
That's really cool. So 12 communities equals one big chapter, right?
Yeah.
And that 12 is going to go to 18, and then 18 is going to go to 24, etc. And then are you going to have like a quarterly or biannually like meeting where people could do some networking? Because that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, my goal is to bring everybody together every quarter.
Perfect.
Right? And watch you guys connect to each other. And I will meld people together if I have to.
if you end up having 15 chapters, say 15 communities, and there's roughly 15 members in a community, it's 225 people.
Yep.
Like-minded people getting together quarterly. That's really powerful. And then also, have you thought about? I mean, again, I'm just kind of going off the cuff here.
Sure.
Like within Belmar, like there's so much stuff going on with the town. Have you I think it would be cool, like if the Belmar chapter of Coastal Connections gets involved with something to do with the town to help the betterment of Belmar too.
Exactly. Well, that's one of the big things with the Coastal Connections community is community give back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm huge with community give back. I'm asking these guys every other Thursday, what do you know out there? What charitable events do you know out there? What can I get involved in? How can we become part of Belmar? How can we become part of the community?
Well, you got to call my wife because she runs the nonprofit for Wingman, the Wingman Foundation. Because she can get you involved to help with Belmar, Manasquan, give back, and Brick and local areas. If you would like, I can make sure that community is part of your effort.
Awesome. Because listen, as a kid, I kind of had a little bit of a rough upbringing, and I was a recipient of some of that give back. I feel now that I'm in a position now where I can really be that guy helping that other kid out. So
I would love to. I don't know if you know this, but last year we collected over 10,000 toys that went to 17 nonprofits. So. And now, up until last year, I've been doing this, community give back for 6-7 years now through Wingman. But this year we're going to formalize it. We're in the process of formalizing. The attorney's waiting for an email with all the information. But the idea is that it's going to become a formalized 501c3 nonprofit organization that my wife is going to be the executive director of, so that it's no longer just Wingman's getting behind this effort. It's this is the Wingman Foundation. The Wingman Foundation will work with the Shore Movement, with the Brick Rotary, with the Freehold PBA, with the Brick PAL, and a number of organizations, Panthers Let's Eat, Ocean Cares, Ocean Mental Health, etc., Bright Harbor, and we're going to then be the provider to help them with food insecurities, toy insecurities, for to give people the best experience that they can have, knowing that the deck's not in their favor, and try to help them out of some of these things. And again, we're working with organizations like Seeds of Service and Brick to help change the course for people.
Well, let me know how I can help out. How Coastal Connections can pop into there, because we'd love to do that.
I feel good that you said it on camera, so it's not even like you just said it to me in a conversation. Like, we can go back to the recording, and you're now involved.
All right.
Marco Reyes has said it. He was on I don't know, a number of weeks ago, and he said, "I'd love to get involved with an organization." I said, "Oh, you just signed yourself up because you're on camera."
Now you're on camera.
Marco Reyes, shout out, bud. I hope you watch it, because you are now on camera twice saying that you're going to help, and the Coastal Connection groups are going to be part of this too, which is going to make my wife's life a little bit easier come November, December. So
now we have evidence.
Now we have evidence. So, where do you see this Coastal Connection going?
Boy, if you were to ask me what my dream for it is, there's really no limit on it. It's just like,
You want to keep it in Jersey? And you said Philly.
Actually, I'm already exploring the idea of bringing it to New York and Pennsylvania. Right?
Where in New York do you want to go? I'm originally a New York. New York.
Okay. Nice.
I'm a Long Islander from.
I'm a Buffalonian.
Really?
Yeah. So,
oh, wow.
So obviously Western New York would be great down the road. Because I know some people up there that would be great. I love, shout out to Rochester and Buffalo, my people up there.
Is there some place in particular you want to shout out? Or just the general areas?
Well, the general areas, my hometown, Brockport.
All right.
No one knows about Brockport, but if you know where Brockport is, you already got in with me no matter what.
All right. Mikey from our limo team's from Buffalo, so we'll have to ask him. Mike Greco, do you know where that is? We'll let you watch, and you can let it get back to us.
Definitely. But, I don't think that I kind of see this just growing outside organically, starting in New Jersey, because, a lot of good things come out of Jersey, right?
Yep, I love it.
And then looking at New York and hopefully Delaware and Pennsylvania by the end of the year. And then, God willing, God gives us everything, right? God willing, nationwide eventually down the road.
Keep going. I love it. I think that this is really great. I love what you're doing to connect people. And I think you're not just in the business of, it's dues. It's you want to see do-gooding happen. Not
exactly.
Again, dues are part of it. You have to have money to move things along. But again, I think that there's other times where other organizations are just looking at the dues bills and who's late, who needs to get it, who's got a vacancy versus let's do some business together and the dues will come.
Exactly. The center of my aspect isn't just, who's paying me what, where, and like I said, and I do have to keep the lights on. I do have to,
That's part of it.
But the other part of it is like I don't want. I'm so not centered on that, and it really is like I just see so many professionals out there that you look at them, and you're like, wow, I could really, not in a bad way, but wow, I could really use. Especially at networking events, I see a guy all the time. Like, I want to tell you what to do because I see it's like the guy standing in the corner so awkwardly.
Yeah.
Like I know he's struggling, and I want to walk over and be like, so
That's great. I try to when I go to those K-Chev events, and I run my own lunch and learns, and I things like that. I want to embrace people because, again, that guy that's sitting there, he wants to be there and he wants to come, but he doesn't know how to. It's weird. It's awkward. The first, no one teaches you in high school or college or business school, oh, you got to go to networking events. Like, they're a unique entity. Like, you go to a room. To me, the way to grow is to be uncomfortable get out of your comfort zone and be uncomfortable in that. Because once you're uncomfortable, then it gets, in my mind, it gets easier. The first time you go to a networking event and you're a little timid and shy, and again, some people have to have a drink or two before they go to loosen up. It's a weird experience. You're going after work. You've just worked 8 to 10 hours.
Yep.
You go to some event where you don't know 75 people that are in the room, and you're like, what do I do? And you have a bunch of business cards. You think you're gonna, in one sense, you think you're gonna come home with 40 new customers. In the other sense, you're like, I don't want to talk to these people. I'm tired. I want to go home and spend time with my family. So there's that balance, and you're like,
there's a time,
but I think on the, when you really kind of peel it back, you're like, I think you go there and you say, and it's not also about kind of going crazy about telling them what you do. Learn about what they do.
Yeah,
learn it. Like, it's as fundamental as building a relationship. You with a friend, with a girlfriend, with a fiance, whatever. You don't just go in and just tell them everything on the first date. Let's go get coffee. Let's spend an hour speaking.
Yep.
And I think in the world of networking, either through a networking group like Coastal Connections or a networking event, shout out again to Keshev, that, or coming to a lunch and learn. It's not about just telling everybody everything you know on your first date, because they're not going to want to have a second date with you. Yeah. You have to listen. You have to take in. They have to tell you about their stuff. You have to say, how can I help you? And to me, it's about giving first.
Yes.
I would rather you not use me for any marketing services, web, etc. But can I help you? Can I refer you? Who is that perfect target for you? Oh, you need this guy. Oh, Chris, let's go meet Abdel. Chris, let's my friend Jay is here. Let's go introduce you to Jay, because you guys have a connection, and that might be better. And then Jay's gonna be like, wow, Tom thought to introduce Chris to me, and Chris is saying, wow, Tom, introduce. So you want to say, hey, Tom, how can I help you? But again, now it's not just here's everything you can know about when you've been planning, versus, hey, look, let's go talk to Jay, see if hey, you want to go grab a drink? And then in a couple weeks you say, hey, you want to grab lunch one day? And now a relationship is formed, and it's no longer about just spouting everything out in one breath that you can. And I think that's where a lot of these young networkers need to kind of just refine it.
Exactly. And one of those things, like you kind of brought up a good point there, and it's that when you walk into a place and there's like 85 people you don't even know, and I've been doing this for years, and I get nervous walking into this place, even some of the KCHEV events.
Really?
Yeah, another shout out to KCHEV, right?
KCHEV, you got 3 so far, bud.
So yes, I still obviously I even the last one I walked into, I knew people there, but like right away I didn't know anybody. But it's breaking the seal on that.
But once you find that one person, you find Abdel. I love he's got the Got Mortgages shirt on.
Yeah.
He's got his guns out.
Exactly.
But again, you find one person. And I think when you look at, I always laugh. I met Tom Jarrah about a year ago. He's done power washing at my house twice. He did the screens. He's bought a website. I helped him with his Google business. I got lawn signs for the guy. But again, the first time I met him, it wasn't like, hey, Tom, this is what I do. And Tom didn't just yammer out all the things he did it to me. We just, hey, how are you? Cool. Let's get a drink. Let's go up to the bar.
So somebody actually asked me probably what I thought was probably one of the worst questions. Right?
What is it?
So it was one of the worst questions. It was after one of the other events we just did with it, like I think the last one of the Chev events. So I shout out again. So it was after that event. So I'm talking about. So I was like, oh yeah, I met Carolyn from Sweat for 40, and they're like, and they're like, well, why are you interested in meeting people that have nothing to do with real estate? You're a title insurance guy. He's like, oh, it's a coastal thing. I'm like, no, but you can always when you meet somebody, there's always a reason why you met them, right? You're gonna ask them like what they do and how they do it. And now I can connect that person to someone else.
Yep.
I told that person, I was like, you want me to connect her right now to real estate? Well, guess what? She owns a gym. That gym is growing. They're doing a great job. They're doing an amazing bang up job. They're growing in Ocean. What do they need? Gym space. What does gym space come in? Real estate. Now you're talking to my commercial realtor. Yep. Now you're talking to my commercial loan officer and my commercial. Oh, by the way, my commercial attorney too.
But you never know who that person also knows. Could there, again, somebody meets somebody. Kristen from my office has been there before. her significant other owns an auto repair and fixes cars and does stuff like that.
I know
So
that guy.
could that person, Mo ends up working on the fleet for a contractor, but it's all, you never know who you're going to meet. So to me, it's always put your best foot forward. Anytime I see people, just in general, I say, hey, good morning. I'm the guy who talks to strangers.
Yep.
I always have, and I always will. Like, hey, how are you? Have a good day. And people look at me like I'm weird, but I think if we're all nicer to each other, it makes for a nicer society.
Exactly. No, I hear you too.
I'm not the guy who honks. I'm not the guy who tailgates. I am like the opposite of that.
My family jokes around me all the time. They're like, "Oh my gosh, you will talk to anybody."
I will. Yep.
but that's probably why this works out.
That's
well.
why we connected. But again, we met each other unsolicited. We met each other at an event, and then we texted, and then it was like, "Oh, I'm doing this group," and you said to me, "Hey, let's meet for lunch because I'm going to do something in Belmar, and I know you have Belmar."
Exactly. And on that, if I had gone and done what that guy was saying, what does this guy have anything to do with real estate? You're not talking to an attorney or a realtor or whatever. You're talking to a printer. I'm like, well, he has everything to do with real estate, and it's just that mindset. When I hear that mindset, it's like grading nails on a chalkboard right there, because you're really just limiting yourself to one thing, and it's never going to work out for you.
Never. So I think you have to be open-minded, because again, that's how it all starts to connect, and you never know again who needs that real estate, who ends up connecting you because they were talking to someone else that was in the business. Oh, let me get connected with Mr. Fedora Closer.
There you go.
So that's awesome. I love to hear good news stories, and you brought a positive spin to today because you definitely, have a cool concept. I'm very proud of you and Abdel for doing this Coastal Connection, because I think it's going to be bigger than what it is today, and I think it's going to continue to grow. But I love the idea of this 4 times a year. I hope that I know that Nicole represents Wingman, but I hope that I get an invite to the 4 times a year one.
Definitely.
I mean, the bi-weekly ones are hard for me just because I'm in 6 different places during the week, but I would love that quarterly one that I get to come with.
Well, we're gonna go grab you wherever you are. We're gonna just bring you. We're gonna send a limo for you. Just bring you right in.
I am all for that, because I think that's gonna be great. 200 people in the state, 200 like-minded people, and I think that the key is the like-mindedness.
Yes.
Like, again, I think what I like about when I've sat in this group on, again, lunch and learns, events, type networking, it's people that want to do this, because again, if you don't want to do it, it's very easy to just go home after work and say, I'm not going tonight to this networking. You have to put your best foot forward. You have to kind of put on your big boy jeans to do that.
It's still very much work.
It's still work, and you get a couple cocktails, and
it's fun work.
If you go to Joe Bella's, you get a great meal. I mean, shout out to Joe Bella. I love the food there. Rosie's, you're great too. So Robert Rosie's, shout out. But you get a good meal, but realistically, I think that you really have to put your best foot forward, because it's 2.5 hours. And again, most people are not leaving till 8:30, 9 o'clock, and they have a 30-minute or 40-minute drive home afterwards. So it adds to your day.
I network everywhere, so sometimes I have a 2-hour drive home.
Oh yeah, so you're in the middle of the state, but you go north, you go south, you go east, and you go west.
So like I said, we're building towards like the north area now, and think about Hoboken and that kind of area. So it means I'm networking in New York City. That means I'm networking in like Rockland County.
And because you're going to be on one of our upcoming real estate forums.
Yes.
You connected us through somebody that's in Bergen County to be the insurance.
Yes, Melanie. She's awesome.
So that's cool. Again, but the power of connection. Again, somebody from Bergen County who's in an hour and 20 minutes away from the Belmar facilities is going to come down, meet 2 people that she doesn't know in the real estate trades, because she knows you already. Mm-hmm. She's going to get to meet me. I'm going to get to meet her. They're going to get to meet her. So all through networking, you're bringing something that's, that normally is a local transaction.
The greater community.
That's
exactly what we're talking about.
Is she in one of your Coastal Connections yet?
Not yet.
All right, but you're working on it.
We're working on it.
Awesome. We'll so I love to see it. I can't wait to hear more about this. And this was great. I'm glad that we got to connect today. If you could let the audience know how they can find you if they're interested in Coastal Connections, or if they need title work.
All right. Well, you can find me through Instagram at the Fedora Closer, or on Facebook, Christopher Lynch. It'll link you to Chicago Title, which is awesome, by the way.
Shout out to Chicago Title.
So, nationwide service, you can't go wrong. And it also connects you to Coastal Connections community. especially through my Fedora Closer page. Coastal Connections also has its own Instagram page right now. That's going on. And of course, if you know Abdel Tommy, I'm terrible with last names. If you know Abdel, you can connect that way too. He's ready.
Shout out to Abdel.
Yep.
I don't know who got more shout outs today, Abdel or Keshev, but we could, when you listen, you could let us know. But I really appreciate you coming on today. Thank you for letting people know, and keep doing great work. I mean, this is awesome for the small to medium sized business owner who's looking to expand, who's looking to meet new people. This is a great way to do it. And again, I think different from other networking groups is this fact of the larger community getting together. So. Yep. I am on board. I think this is great, and thank you for having Wingman be a part of this.
Oh, thank you for having me.
You're the man.
I love every minute of it.
All right, great. Have a great day.
God bless, guys.